Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing a making video, so carry on watching if you want to know how to make this little plant holder. So this week we have a make at home video. We're making this small little plant holder which can be for your side of the desk or for your bedside table. It's an easy project and I just wanted to do something to kickstart off this whole channel. So it's not the best thing in the world, but it works, and as you can see here, it's quite a nice little piece to have in your house. This week we're using pallet wood, so you can get pallet wood from many different places, such as local shops, or even I got mine from the skip that was next to my course. For this piece, as we will be using different equipment, please make sure you've got parental or guardian supervision. Make sure you're safe and you are doing this in a well cleared area, and if you are doing it at home, make sure you clean up after yourself so your mum doesn't get mad. During this video I did try the style of learning along the way, which was a bit difficult as I did have to keep filming over and over again if I made little mistakes, but this is what this channel is all about. It's for me to learn and you to learn along with me. So let's get started and make this project. Right, so in front of me I've got all the tools and equipment we'll be using. So I've got a drill here, which is just an old one that's been given to me. I've also got some screws here. I've also got my jigsaw here, which will be coming up in an upcoming video just explaining more about it. I've got my wood here that I've already taken off the pallet, and I've just cut some pieces as I was practicing using the saw. I've got my tape measure, a pen. Oh, don't forget your safety goggles. There are alternatives for these if you're not capable of using these tools just yet, or you can get some help. So with your wood, make sure you've got a level side on the top. The first thing we need to do is mark up our pieces of wood. So for the first one, I'm going to do 10 centimetres. When you're marking your wood, you want to do it on the other side that you don't want to be shown. So I'm using this side, which has a nice footprint on. Thank you to one of the builders. When you're cutting the next piece, always leave average 1.5–2 centimetre gap in between the different pieces, depending on preference. Obviously you can go closer if you want to, but I'm just going to leave a bit of a gap just so when I cut the next piece I have the little bit of leeway. Once we've marked up the wood, make sure you've clamped it onto your bench, and then we can start cutting. So I'm going to use the jigsaw. You can either use a jigsaw or a saw, whatever, it's up to you preference wise. I'm just using this as I've got it readily available and I find it much easier to use and quicker. Make sure you put your safety goggles on and then you're ready to cut. So on this piece I've got 110 and 118, just trying to make the most of the wood. You're going to need two 18 centimetre length pieces of wood and one 10 and one 8 centimetre piece of wood. The two 18s in my left hand, and I've got the 10 and the 8 centimetres here. So I've cut them out ready, I marked them up, cut them with the jigsaw. They're a bit wonky, so I'm going to sand them and then we can carry on with hopefully connecting them all together and having a nice easy finish. First, I'm just about to put this on my table just so I can hold up the pieces of wood whilst I'm sanding the top pieces of them. This just makes it easier and sturdier whilst I am sanding them. So I'm just going to be using my vise and my multi-tool. But it's up to you, whatever tools you've got, you can use. Sanding all of the pieces of wood, and I've got sort of a smooth finish, as smooth as I could get within this time, just because it is the pallet wood, so it's not going to be completely smooth, but as long as you can rub your hand up and down and it is smooth to touch, then you're on the right track really. So the next part of this is to join it all together, so we'll see how that goes. So with this you might have some wonkier edges, like here I've got more of a curved one which I'll just use on the outside area so that when I put it against the wood, the flatter area is connecting, just so I have more of a balanced and stabilised piece when connecting. as this is your first time cutting, or it could be possibly beginning of you cutting. So there are going to be some wonky edges, which is completely fine, obviously. But with this piece, as we are putting the stand on the base, so if you mark out roughly where the middle of the wood is, then we can fix it to that piece. So if you just get your measuring tape and find the middle and then draw a line there. Because we are using wood from the pallets, it is more of a fragile wood, so you want to make sure it doesn't splinter off. So to do this, go closer to the middle when you're drilling, so that it doesn't split off on the sides. First of all, you're going to need to drill a pilot hole because this wood is very fragile, so it will splinter. So the best thing to do is drill a pilot hole just so it gives some give when your screws going through. So if you have got them, we want to use some flat screws just so they're not sticking out. It's up to you preference wise. So I've got one screw in and it's just touching the bottom back here. So I'm going to add the other one in. Right, so we have the two screws in here and then we are connecting it to this piece here. So I'm just going to do it like so and hold them together. However, if there is a safer alternative that you would like to do, please do that. So I've drilled the bottom piece onto the tied up piece. It's a bit wonky, but as I say, I am learning as well as you. So next we have to add the other pieces on. So this will be here. So let's do the bottom one first. Drill the screws through here. So if you're using a pencil, make sure you grab your pencil from the middle of this piece of wood, draw a line up, and then follow it across the back of the piece. So then you have a middle of where to drill your holes. And make sure you're just holding it down and gripping as much as you don't want it to spin. Pushing down with force on the drill so it's not spinning on the screws. If it seems like it's not going all the way in, you can always take the screw back out and push it back in, as it might just be hitting a bit, so you might need to just unscrew it. The second little shelf by here now, so all we've got left is to add the top shelf on. So I did have a bit of a mess up with the wood. I was trying to level the top piece here so it fit flat on the top of the frame. However, I did catch the corners of this piece of wood and I chipped off the corners, which is easily done because this is from the pallet, so it is a bit more of a fragile wood, so it is going to chip a bit easier. So all you have to do is just be careful. But if this does happen, don't worry, just grab another piece of wood. I've cut another piece out here, which I'm going to file and sand now. So I have screwed screws in just slightly, just so I have a bit of a wriggle into the wood, so it's not moving about when I'm trying to screw it in. So I'm going to drill them in now, and then the project should be done. There we are, it's all done. So it was an easy piece to make. There was obviously some wonky bits and some rough parts of this piece, but for my first project back by myself, I'm very happy with this piece and I'm glad that you were able to build along with me. So if this is your first time building or you are a beginner within this field, hopefully this was easy for you to do. Thank you so much for following along. You should have something around the shape and look of this. Without the plants on, it is a very basic structure. Mine's slightly wonky just because I haven't used the tools and stuff in a while. So getting used to it and all was very handy for this project, and I'm glad I was able to make this for my first project with you. So I hope you enjoyed making this project and you didn't find it too difficult. Obviously this is a very easy piece to make, so I'll be using different tools and different techniques as we go along, but for now this was just a basic joint and a basic cut, just so we could get back into the rhythm of making and so we can have a nice final piece that would look nice in the home. So if you like this type of video, please like and comment down below and let me know what other content and projects you would like to build in the future. I will be doing sort of easy projects like this to start off with, so if you have any in mind that you'd like, let me know and we can then build it along together, and I can trial it first so you can follow along at home and you don't have to be doing it on your own. If you could, please like and subscribe to this channel. It means a lot by you following me on Instagram as well. So I'll link that down below, where I'll be posting more of my regular content and behind the scenes of my videos. So if you want to see more of that type of thing, have a look at the link down below. If you do end up making this project, please tag me in your Instagram posts or stories so I can see all of your different projects and how you're getting along. I really enjoyed making this piece along with you, and I'll see you next week. Thank you, bye.